Hello and welcome to another video game story time with me, Sky Fellowship. Today's video, as you'll have seen from the title, is definitely a video mainly about queerness, but also about the franchise. It's going to essentially be entitled something like, either I'll shorten it to an ACE, because ACE is easier to, well, for some people it's easier to understand, but an asexual person's viewpoint on Dead or Alive. So it's like an ACE's viewpoint on D.O.A. is what I might end up actually calling it. And if you're the kind of person who genuinely gets pissed off and you've already clicked off, then none of this will be heard anyway and matter. But if you're the kind of person who gets pissed off when anyone dares discuss anything to do with gender or sexuality in their videos, when it's like, you know, their content and they're living their life, this video is not for you. If you are still listening to this, I'm not going to like go into a 15-minute long preachy thing or any shit like that, don't worry. I'm just going to say, reminder, you can be straight, you can be cisgendered, and you can still question things, and you can then gain an understanding and a level of empathy towards queer people and trans people who go through all of this stuff. If you spend 5 minutes, and trust me, it'll take more than 5 minutes, this is why a lot of people don't actually do this, because it is definitely a laziness factor. If you spend 5 minutes just like trying to really think, do I feel like the body I am in is my body? Do I feel like the sexuality I'm supposed to be according to society is my sexuality? And you come away after all that questioning and say, yep, I am definitely cis, I am definitely straight. Amazing. That's what's supposed to happen. We're the weird ones. We know this. That's why queerness is a synonym for weird. That doesn't mean we're a problem, that doesn't mean we're like, there's anything wrong with us, but we are rare, we're supposed to be. That's how nature balances all of this stuff. Like, for the survival of the species, you're supposed to fucking have majority, I guess, straight people, but it's then the fact that you get bigots out there who are like, well, it's not just the majority, it should be 100%, and it's like, no, that's not how any of this shit works. So yeah, that's that side of the video done, and now I'm actually going to get on to why I wanted to make this video. Because for anyone who doesn't know anything about asexuality, this is, again, I don't want to do a 15-minute thing, but the general definition is someone who lacks sexual attraction. That's why the A is there. It's the same with aromantic, agender, any like asymmetrical, asymptomatic, that was the one that was one of the buzzwords around with COVID and that. Like, anytime there's an A there, it's usually the A stands for the absence of. I think the first time I kind of stuttered and it sounded like I'd said absinthe, the fucking alcoholic drink. So yeah, the absence of, yeah, I can't say that word, of whatever the thing is that follows it. So in this case, absence of sexuality. And that gets brought up here because there's Christy, because I love Dead or Alive, and there's so many people who go out of their way to go, oh yeah, you only like Dead or Alive because of the bonk side of things, because of this, that. I knew there'd be some costumes. As you can see, I don't have this, I haven't bought this. I actually get annoyed that all of this stuff gets put into the game, and there's like no way for me to filter it out, and I don't say that because I'm someone who can't stand nudity. The kind of ace where it just doesn't move the needle for me. The easiest way to explain this is to see it. Imagine going into a museum and you look at a bunch of paintings, or you look at a bunch of statues, sculptures, whatever kind of art you're looking at. You can appreciate the beauty of it without wanting to have sex with it. Yeah, that's basically humans for me. That essentially everyone's a flesh sack. And apologies for that description, but it's the truth. People are just people. And it means that when I'm playing Dead or Alive, there are a lot of people out there who genuinely will go, oh yeah, you only played for this, you only played for that, it's clear that you only like the horniness of it. It's like, no, that's all of the shit that I actually turn off. I try to limit how much that I can actually put into the game. I genuinely love Dead or Alive because I think the fighting mechanics are some of the absolute best of a fighting game of this type and genre. Because fighting games are not all made the same. There's your Street Fighters, there's your Tekkens, there's your Virtua Fighters, there's Soul Calibur. They're all different systems, and so is Dead or Alive. And Dead or Alive, I think, has one of the genuinely best fighting game systems in all the fighters. But it gets absolutely no fucking respect. It really does. And it's fucking infuriating because there's so much with the horny bonk stuff, and I understand that it's definitely a put-off for people. I truly do. Probably more than most people. But that's the thing that all anyone focuses on. And it means that no one focuses. I completely forgot that even your shirt gets ripped on this. Yeah, I do usually have. I bought like one costume pack. And the one costume pack I bought is fully clothed ninja garb, essentially. And then when you do one of your special moves, shall we say, you, like, it transforms into another costume. And most of them are all fully clothed, but I think there's like two of them where when you do the transformation, it actually makes them skimpy clothed, and that's annoying as well. But yeah, it's like all anyone focuses on is the horniness of these entire games. That they just don't focus on the actual mechanics. Now, I love fighting games. I own probably more fighting games on a percentage-wise than any other genre in my gaming collection. Just on Steam alone, I think I have 47. That's not including, obviously, all of the many ways to play old video games these days. The fact that there's even something out there, I don't want to say the name of it because I don't ever want lawyers to come for me, but there's a very popular fighting app, shall we say, that you can get on a PC that has a lot of games. So I'm not even talking that. I'm talking just all of the stuff that I genuinely legally own. I have 47 games on Steam. I have... going back to the Virtual Console days, I must own at least 25 fighters on the Virtual Console. I own some for the SNES, the N64. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. And there's some repeats. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say there aren't like 12 versions of Street Fighter 2 in this. There's some repeats, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm approaching 150 fighting games. As much as I absolutely adore them, and as much as I play the fuck out of them, I don't know most fighting game terms, because I grew up in a time where all of this was being decided upon, and I never used to watch, like, EVO religiously. I watched casually, because I've always been a I'd rather play a game than watch a game person. So it meant that I didn't get a lot of terminology growing up. Like, I could clearly understand jugglers and juggling, because yeah, that's a pretty self-explanatory thing. It took me a while to figure out the difference between zoners and things. Like, I know what a grappler is, so I do know some basic terms, but I don't know. I'm not like Maximilian Dude. I can't sit here and tell you everything about a fighting system and everything that's going on and how counters are supposed to work and how the throws are supposed to work and stuff like that. I just know from feel, and I play the fuck out of these games. And I also play the fuck with usually a leveless, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a specially designed controller for fighting games where basically it's all buttons, and it's the most brilliant way to play Dead or Alive. I'm currently using a controller at the moment, sadly, and I am reminded now just how much I hate playing these games with controller compared to an actual fight stick or a leveless or anything like that. I should probably try and find that costume I'm on about, but at the same time, I can't remember the input, especially on controller. I can't remember the input of how I actually do it. I know it's not that, but I still do like the look of that, so fuck it, I'll go for that. And let's go for Fierce 4, because Fierce 4 is kind of a mood, and I know Fierce 4 is just basically a Kasumi clone and like an Alpha 152 and stuff like that. But yeah, it's... to circle back to the actual topic then, it's weird that maybe it's one of those times where being queer actually helps, because I don't know how to actually sell Dead or Alive to a mainstream audience, because it's got this stigma attached to it. Like, we've literally just been told that we're getting an update for Dead or Alive 6, and Dead or Alive 7 is being made, essentially. I think it's... I can't remember if they specifically said Dead or Alive 7 or just a new Dead or Alive game, because I wouldn't be surprised if they also do a reboot, because that's very common in fighting games, where suddenly you drop a number and you do things. But at the same time, we've got Tekken 8, we've got Street Fighter 6, like, Dead or Alive 7 isn't exactly that high of a number when Street Fighter is going to be on it soon as well. And let's be real, Street Fighter is actually on, like, 50, because, again, not just all the different versions of fucking Street Fighter 2, but if we do count all of those individual versions, so your turbos, your hyper fighting, your world warriors, your new challengers, the arcade super ultra, like all of that stuff, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Dead or Alive 7, basically. I went off on a very weird tangent there that I probably shouldn't have, but my point is, maybe this is one of those times where being ace is what's allowing me to actually appreciate the fuck out of these games. That's the same... Yeah, I know I was saying it's a clone, but unless I'm mistaken... Yeah, there's no way to really see the red. I think that's the same costume underneath Fierce 4's thing. It is? Yeah. Sorry. the weird little things that I notice like this while I'm trying to do videos. But it means that I really don't know how to ever sell this franchise for anyone, because you've got the people who do like it for the bonk reasons, and hell, that's fine. You're allowed to like your games for whatever you like. I'm not here trying to shit on you for that. Like, if that's what you like, then that's what you like. You do you, as long as you're not hurting people. That tends to be the golden rule in life. Don't be a dick. Don't hurt people. You do you. You know, we're all different. We all like different things. So if you are that kind of person, great. But for every one of you, there's also at least one other who's like, you know what, I really like fighting games, but do I really want to say that I play Dead or Alive? It's like, it's got this weird porn stigma to it. It really does. And it's like, how the hell do you beat that? Because the developers clearly don't want to do it. So then it means that this becomes like a super niche thing. But eventually they're going to have to realize that super niche doesn't make money. Super niche is super niche. So I'm not saying they'll do this. I don't expect them to ever do it. I fear they'll actually lean harder in the other direction, and every single character will just start naked and you'll have to unlock clothes, but no one will ever bother to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if we ever get to that fucking point with this franchise. Obviously, I know they can't do a full mature rated fighting game or anything. That would be a death sentence for it, but it's the way when D.O.A 4 came out, it was bad enough it had jiggle physics. And then they really leaned into it for 5 and 6, and they added a bunch of stuff. And I at least think with Dead or Alive 4, you could turn the jiggle off. I don't think you can do that in Dead or Alive 6, if memory serves. If you can, I've either just not got around to doing it. And obviously there's going to no doubt be people going, yeah, it's because you secretly like it. No, it's just because I don't notice it. I'm never ever looking at anything other than my character's hands and feet. Like, those are the things that you have to look at in a fighting game. Like, it's a fighting game of this type. You have to be able to see your hands and feet. You have to be able to see your opponent's hands and feet, because you have to learn when they're going to punch you, like, in a certain way, so you can counter, so you can grapple them, so you can dodge it. Those are the things I'm looking at. So, yeah, water and sweat you can turn on or off, thankfully. Dirt you can turn on or off. I don't even understand what dirt would be. Is dirt blood, or is dirt... Oh, to be fair, thinking about it, there's fucking... I'm trying to remember the name of the stage, but I know fine well now what dirt is going to be. You know what? Arcade actually might be the best way for me to just go on this instead of just fucking about. Right. Let's go for hard and get my ass kicked while I'm currently discussing different things. I will go for the obvious Bruce Lee representative because... Oh, and that's the costume. I've just finally found it for one character. Hopefully I can do the actual transformation. Not that it matters, and not that this video is anything other than complete waffling at this point. But every fighting game needs a Bruce Lee clone. Like, I think that's one of the ways that you know that you are one of the greatest martial artists of all time. Tekken's got one, Dead or Alive's got one, Street Fighter's got one, like, Soul Calibur's got one. I can't remember any other major franchises at this moment in time that I might have missed or, like, not said. But yeah, basically, if you're a fighting game, you need a Bruce Lee clone. That's just the law. And funnily enough, the Bruce Lee clones tend to all play very similar to each other. So if you like one Bruce Lee clone in a fighting game, you'll probably like the others. Yeah. But, right then, let's try to circle back and try to actually land this plane, I guess. So, the concise version would be, hey, I actually managed to do the transformation apparently just by the end. And see what I mean? Like, that was just literally, it's the same costume, only it changes from gold and black to black and gold. And I like stuff like that. That's the kind of costumes I like, and this is what I mean. I wish I could turn it off. I actually do. And I know that's what Rachel always looks like. She's looked like that ever since she was in Ninja Gaiden. But I wish I could choose which costumes to just put on and turn off, because I don't care. I genuinely don't. But I know other people do. So why is it not a choice? Why is it not an option? And if I'm sitting here playing this and someone walks in, I'm not going to be embarrassed about it, but I also could do without having to have that conversation, you know? And this is what I mean. How do you fucking fix this? How do you fix the stigma? Because anyone seeing that entrance for Rachel is going to look at is, well, her boobs. It's designed that way. The camera literally follows and focuses on everything. Why is that shit always, like, in your face? This is the, like, as much as people love to say that queer people shove things in their face, Dead or Alive shoves this way more in your face than anything else. There's literally no way to opt out of this. There's just none. I wish I could choose to blacklist certain costumes. I really do. And I've went off on another tangent purely because of this. So, again, let's finally land this plane. I don't know what I can do to say to people to give it a try. If you haven't, I promise you, as gratuitous as all of this bullshit is, and yeah, I'm starting to see now why at least they'll do it, allow you to turn sweat off, because Jan Lee's arms are absolutely soaked there. And it looks weird. It doesn't look natural. That looks more like baby oil than sweat. Like, have you ever seen someone sweat? Genuinely. Why is sweat baby oil? I don't know how I can convince you to try the game. Try the franchise when 7 comes out. Maybe 7 will actually be tamer. I honestly hope it is. My controller just shut off, apparently. What the... Yeah, so you're just going to witness me getting the crap kicked out of me, and I'm definitely going to have to end this video, because I don't know why my controller's no longer responding. But when 7 does come out, if you're interested in a new fighting game, do remember, its fighting mechanics are going to be next level. I haven't played the game, obviously. It's literally only just been announced. But I could promise you, from playing all of the Dead or Alive games, 1 was a little rough, 2 started to build things a little better, 3 was considered like a great if memory serves, and I'm like, it's still not quite there for me yet. And then 4 clicked, and I think it's because, unless I'm mistaken, Christy was the first time she was in a game was 4, and Christy is my main character because I love her style of combat. It's so fluid and flows so well, that she just clicked instantly. And as soon as you get a main character in a fighting game, as soon as you find your main, that's when a fighting game really starts to click for you. So I would say, when 7 comes out, if you're interested at all remotely in fighting games, give it a try, because yes, it's got this fucking stigma, but you don't have to opt into it. Like, you may not be able to turn stuff off, like in this game. You may not be able to turn certain things off, but it's not so much of a problem that it dominates the entire game, especially if you do just focus. Because if you are focusing on the combat, if you are focusing on learning the combos, learning the moves, learning the patterns and that, you will find such a rich and deep fighter that flows so well. This is the only game that I really feel like button mashing works on, and button mashing actually can become a decent tactic for learning how to actually play the game. Because in most other games, and for people who don't know what the term button mashing is, I'm going to see if my controller will finally start working. There we go. For people who don't know what button mashing is with fighters, it really is button mashing. So A, B, X, Y are usually your punch buttons and kick buttons and that, and people who don't know how to play fighters will just literally hit A, Y, 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 X, 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 all the way through, you know? And it's one of those that usually that doesn't work very well, and it's usually really easy to counter. But with Dead or Alive, you can actually accidentally discover combos, and especially if you go into the practice mode when you're doing this, you can discover loads of things just by fucking about, and it's so much fun to fuck about. So I will quite often just fucking go in, and if I'm learning a character for the first time, the first thing I always do on these games is, you know what, I'm just going to do a button mash session. I'm going to see what I can accidentally discover, and then as soon as I discover it, I'm going to replicate it. So it could be as simple as, okay, I'm apparently getting bullied to fuck here. It could be as simple as just like mixing B and Y, so my kick button and my punch button, and seeing what happens. And if nothing happens, then I'll start mixing it up in a different way. So I'll do 2 Ys and then a B, or I'll do 3 Ys, and then I'll start adding in different buttons, and I will slowly learn the character that way, as opposed to knowing what I'm doing. And then natural things will build. Hang on a second. Why is that showing a Steam controller when I'm not using a Steam controller? Weird. I've never noticed that before. Again, this is what I mean. I just don't notice things. Maybe I've just automatically got blinders on for Dead or Alive, so I'm like, I really am only looking at the fucking hands and feet. But yeah, I think with that, I'm kind of done with the video. And I know this has definitely been a weird one, and I know a lot of people are turned off as soon as they figured out that I was discussing about queerness, because how dare I discuss things that are relevant to my life in my videos on my channel with my content, you know? There are people like that out there. They just genuinely are. Personally, if a YouTuber starts doing something that I don't like, I just unsubscribe and, you know, stop watching their content, but I'm just weird that way, you know? So yeah, I think I'm still putting this up. The fact that you're watching this, you will know I'm still putting this up. Because yes, there's been some waffle on that, but I know I've got the points across that I actually wanted to get across. And yeah, the brain is scattered today as fuck. I literally went to bed having a full panic attack because I actually realised that there's analyticals now on YouTube. And I truly, when I came back to doing this channel, thought that I'd barely get any views because I thought my subscriber count's going to be inactive. I know I'd lost like 1,000 subs by going completely inactive, and I honestly figured that the subs that I hadn't lost just weren't here. I didn't realise my videos are still apparently racking up like 2,000 views every month. And I freaked the fuck out of that because all of a sudden I've realised I'm kind of like a bad landlord who's left people in a house for 17 years and then came back and said, right, we're changing your house into a studio now. Because that's what I feel like I've kind of done with this channel, and I apologise, but firstly, it is my channel. Like, so I am allowed to do what I want with it, you know, as long as obviously I'm not breaking the law or anything, which, you know, like, normal societal rules and shit like that apply. But I am allowed to suddenly change everything I'm doing, and I truly don't see the need for doing my style of reviews anymore because there's so many other channels out there that actually does all of this better. So instead, I wanted to do something that's different that not a lot of people do, and I haven't really found anyone who does like a story time thing, so explaining what games are like to people, explaining their experiences, going through different things with real life issues that happened at the time. I know fine well I'll eventually do an Animal Crossing video on the pandemic, because how the fuck can I not do an Animal Crossing video on the fucking pandemic? It's like synonymous with it now. Like, I wanted to do something unique again, because I've always been not so much a trendsetter, because I never saw myself that way, but rather than following someone else's, I'd always rather try to find my own niche, and I honestly feel there is a reason to put videos like this up. There is a reason to put stories like this up. So firstly from a queer view, firstly from a trans view, firstly from a like trauma view. There's so many different things that I can bring to this platform that people just don't want to mention or don't want to bring up, and especially now that YouTube is demonetizing things. So I know it's weird to end a video with the housekeeping essentially, but again, I am glad that this has happened naturally, because I'd like to think that's the other thing that my videos will do. I am truly me in these videos. You will learn that very quickly. This is just how fucking weird and batshit I am, and how my brain works, and how I naturally move from topic to topic. And when that happens, I feel the video's actually better for it, because I genuinely do not like the idea of doing a script, of like writing out, so I'm going to hit pause now, and this is where I show off the controller, and as you can see, Y is punch. I hate that shit. I truly do, and I hate the idea of acting in videos as well, and trying to, so this is when I'm going to hit the pause button, and as you can see here, the Y button is back. You know, I hate it. I fucking despise it. It's not for me. It's never been for me. I'm fine with other people doing it. I subscribe to channels that do it. I don't care that they do it, because that's their videos, and I understand why you do videos that way. But for me, it doesn't come off as natural. I fucking hate it. It's not me. It's never been me. It never will be me. So yeah, I like to think that just the way that I discuss things and bring things up is actually a positive to the videos as well, and is a positive on why this channel is hopefully growing by the time this video goes up. So yeah, I think I am finally done, and I might have to change the episode to this to like an Ace's view of D.O.A, also with a fuck ton of rambling at the end. But either way, I hope the video has actually helped you. I hope you are able to give games like this a chance, because there's more than just games like this out there. And I'm not saying go play hentai games or anything like that, because I don't. Like, I do. That's something where I don't feel there's any redeeming gameplay, shall we say, to games like that. They are purely designed for the bonk side of things, you know. There's no game there. It's just bonk. There's a game here. There's a really fucking good game here. There's a really good fighting mechanic here. The fact that I'm actually even doing mildly decent on the hard difficulty as well on this, despite button mashing, is also proof that button mashing can kind of get you a far way. But I have also played as Helena a lot, and I do actually remember some combos. So even though my buttons are completely fucked, because as much as I was joking about that, again, on a level list, my level list is 16 buttons. They're all clear. None of them have any markings on them. It's all done by touch and memory. To the point of, I could pick that up now. I couldn't actually tell you which button the Y button is on my level list, which button the X button is, but I could tell you which buttons I need to push to actually do which fucking combos. I'd be like, yep, hit those three like that, hit like that. So yeah. I've got so much muscle memory with it now that I've kind of forgot how to play as a controller, and I'm trying to remember. So hang on a second. On a level list, when I click a button, am I clicking punch, punch, kick, or am I clicking punch, grab? So I've been trying to do that, and I'm still managing to do it because the fighting system is just so fluid and so good, and it all blends into each other. This game has got so many fucking combos. You don't need to ever learn all of them. You truly don't. But as long as you can start to learn the pattern recognition of, okay, so when Helena's hand is like that in the air, if I hit that button, then I'm going to change into a hook, or I'm going to change into a cross, or I'm going to change into a, like, swing kick. Like, it's really, really intuitive. As long as you just watch what your characters are doing. It's fucking fun. It's really fucking fun. So, I really hope that this video can actually help people get into games that they may not get into just because something looks like it might be off-putting. And I'm going to add Binding of Isaac to this as well. Binding of Isaac is not a bonk game, but it's a very gross game that a lot of people do not like the imagery of, and I fully understand that, but it's also one of the greatest fucking rogues ever made. It is such a good game, and it's like, if people could just get over the looks of something, you'd be able to really experience a brilliant game. And for me, gameplay is number one. Like, when I'm playing a game, I care about the gameplay more than I care about anything else. Story comes in at a second. Music is tied with story because you can... This is one of those arty-farty answers, I'm aware. But music alone can be enough to tell a game story. So they are actually the same thing to me, really. They're both as important to each other. I will play a gameplay with bad story and bad music. But if a game's got great story and great music but bad gameplay, I won't play it. So it's why I put, like, gameplay above. And then graphics is always last. It's always last. What a game looks like is always last. Yeah, there's games out there that I play that I absolutely love that I think looks like fucking shit. I'm a giant Zelda fan. I think Twilight Princess is one of the ugliest games ever made. I like Wolflink and I like Midna. And that's about it. I don't like the art style of the rest of the game. So yeah. You don't need to like how things look, basically, to be able to enjoy it. So yeah. With that, with all of this mega waffling done, this video has been way fucking longer than I actually ever felt it would be. And I'm glad because I knew I had a lot to say and I knew going in it was going to be long. But then sometimes I'll do this with a video and I'm like, yeah, I've got all this to say. And then it turns out actually 5 minutes in, I've said it all and I'm stretching the video. No, I've said everything. This is one of those moments where as much as I don't have a script, I know I've touched on everything that I actually wanted to touch on. So yeah, this has been Sky Fellowship. If you have never played a Dead or Alive out of fear with how ridiculously bonk it is, but you are interested in one of the deepest, most fluid fighting game mechanics out there, 6 is usually stupidly cheap. Obviously, they're doing an update to it, and hopefully the update's good. But if not, jump in with 7. Try to find a community of people who actually play this game for... I don't want to say the right reasons, because I don't want to shame people. I'm not trying to shame the people who want the bonk out of this. You do you, as I've already said. I will never kink shame or anything like that. But at the same time, I understand there's definitely multiple groups of people who play this game. And find your group, is what I'll say. Find your group, and learn how to play the game. Find some friends who can play it, who can enjoy it. Find people who will constantly mock the fact that why the fuck does... And I know this is Mai's original costume. She's always looked like this ever since SNK fucking designed her. But in D.O.A, it comes across as extremely gratuitous fan service. Let's be real. Yeah. I think I'm done though. Or anything else I now add, I'll just end off waffling. So just find your people. Try the game. Because it's really fucking good, and I just wish more people would respect it for the good things it does, instead of demonizing it for the weird, creepy, bonk things that it does. Because, yeah, I do wish, again, you could turn that off. I really do. But you can't. At least most of it you can't. So, am I gonna not play a game that I truly love playing just because I disagree with the looks of it? No. I really like this game. What the fuck? Okay, I at least managed to get the win there. This is one of the other things I love about fighting games as well. You're never out of it. Obviously, she's an EI, but she still, like, Mai still uses she, her pronouns as far as I'm aware. She, genuinely could have beat me there with 1% of her health. Fighting games are just so fucking good, and this one's one of the all-time best. I'm sorry, but it is. Right. Somehow I've almost hit 30 minutes. So, yeah. This has been Sky Fellowship. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Until the next time. Bye!